All right, 10 weeks out from Mr. Olympia. Welcome back, YouTube. We are recording a video today in Rouse Hill, right next to the gym, and we are going to be talking. I have no idea what we're going to be talking about. We got your questions, and I'm here to answer. I grew up in Tehran, the capital of Iran. I came here when I was 19 years old. When I came here, obviously I had to learn a new language, which is the language I use the most now. I speak three languages. The third one is English. The first one obviously is Farsi. My second language is the language they speak from the city or the village my parents are from. And third one is in English. I use it the most. We speak English at home because my wife, that's the only language she speaks. And yeah, I use it all the time now for work and everything else. So I've been here since when I was 19. So my brother was already here. He came a year before I did. And I had relatives here. I had my cousins, I got my uncles, my aunties. We are a big family here.
Yeah. So your parents as well, they're here?
They're here now, but they weren't. So when I first came, it was just basically me living with my brother for a bit, and then I just lived on my own since when I was 21.
So your parents came over 2 years after you did? Or?
No, they actually just came recently. I think my mom came here about 2 years ago. My dad, it hasn't even been a year.
Wow.
It took them a while to get their visa and stuff. I wanted to be a soccer player.
Soccer player?
Hey, I used to play soccer all the time.
So
Until I was maybe like 17, 18 when I had a serious injury on my knee. I fractured my knee by playing soccer. And then I just stopped playing soccer after that and then just did more of bodybuilding. I was already doing weights even before that,
yeah.
just to be better at soccer and just get stronger, but not to be an actual bodybuilder. It wasn't until when I was 20, when I was studying to become a personal trainer, that all my mates were telling me, oh, I should compete or have a good physique, because I was always lean, shredded, and like, you should compete, you have a good physique. And one day, when I finished my course, I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna compete to learn, and to see what I actually can look like when I put the work in and diet hard. Because I never dieted before that. It was the first time dieting. I never wanted to diet. I was always the guy who was like, oh, I just want to lift. Enjoy, have fun, and never want to diet. Yeah, Cristiano Ronaldo.
So
I wanted to be like him.
So obviously between Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi, you choose Ronaldo?
100%, 100% Ronaldo. All day, all day. No, it wasn't just soccer. It was always soccer and something else. For example, soccer and wrestling, soccer and gymnastics, soccer and boxing, kickboxing. I've done martial arts. I've done everything you think of. I've done taekwondo. But there was always soccer and something else.
So anything that you really excelled in other than soccer?
I did do a few competitions with kickboxing.
Yeah.
Like, I never won a state or any championship. I always came like second or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 14.
14? With anyone or by yourself?
My brother.
Brother?
So my brother was 19 back then. We actually joined the gym on the same day. So he was 19,
Yeah.
I was 14. He took me to the gym and we just started training. Which is funny because he took me to the gym back then, but now I am training him.
So your brother introduced you to bodybuilding. How about him now? Is he still training to a high level? Is he
Not high level,
similar
but
size?
I train him. Yeah, I train him once a week, face to face, and I coach him as well.
Both brothers or just one?
My older brother, my younger brother is also he does wrestling now, but he trains like twice a day as well. He does weight training as well.
Is he a bit jealous that you're bigger than him?
Nah, a bit. It's funny. The other day, one of our PTs like saw me at the gym, and then he's like, "Is that your brother?" Because you can tell by the look. I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "It's crazy. Like people think it's all genetics, but look how much bigger you are." I'm like, yeah, I was small. I was around 70 kilos.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's I still do personal training, but it's not my main job. I mostly do coaching, online coaching. Face to face, I've been doing it since 2017. Like I said, I I started competing to become a better, and I became a PT. I think it was the end of 2016. I moved to 2014. Yeah, so I moved here in 2014, and 2 years after that, I became a PT, and I started working beginning of 2017.
Yeah.
So we are 2020. It's 2026 now. 9 years of personal training, and straight away I started coaching as well. I wasn't just personal training; I was coaching some people as well.
So when you actually won a few shows, did you start getting more and more inquiries from people?
I think so. Yeah, it's mostly with online because if you want to compete, you get coached by someone who's done it before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't just go get coached by someone random who's never competed before.
Yeah.
You want someone who's done it, who's been even myself. Like, I have a coach, and my coach, he's competed before. He knows what it takes to get there. So it's important to have a coach who's actually done that when it comes to competing. You don't want to be someone who never done it, because they would never understand it. It's bodybuilding, it's different.
Very
As much as they say, oh, they know everything, they understand, but they don't.
Would
It's
you-
more of a mental game. I actually met my wife at the gym.
Yeah.
So she was training at the gym. I was training other people. And then I saw her, she was new. Obviously, that's like my gym where I work at. I know everyone. Because I was there every day. Maybe I was doing PT 10 to 12 hours back then. Now it's a lot less, it's 3 hours. More online. Anyways, I was there and I saw, oh, who's this chick? She looks good. She's got a good physique. And then she was just training there. And one of my mates, he came up to me, look at this chick, she's hot. I'm like, yeah, she's hot. So we were just talking about her. And then at night, my mate, he sent me her Instagram. He's like, oh yeah, I found her Instagram. I'm like, okay. I just added her, followed her on Instagram, and she followed me back. And then she did put something on her story of, she took a selfie of her back, like flexing her back muscles, upper back, not her ass. Then I say back. Now at home, because of my son, he repeats everything. If I say ass, he starts saying ass, ass, ass.
Oh, yeah.
So every time we want to refer ass, we say back.
Yeah,
Okay. Anyway, she posted something on her story of her back, and then I just replied to her. I said, you have good genetics. That's what I said.
Yeah.
And then she's asked me for coaching. I started coaching her. It was after like 2-3 weeks when I literally just took her out. We started dating.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
It's a good story.
Yeah, she was actually there only for one day. And that's because she was doing a course, first aid course, at the RSL. So that gym is owned by RSL.
Yeah.
So she was doing a course there, and I think she finished late, like 6-7 o'clock at night. I was working until 9 p.m. She finished late, and she couldn't be bothered going to Fitness First in Castle Towers. So she just trained there, and that was the only time she trained there.
Wow.
If I wasn't there on that day, I would have never met her. He's just like me.
Like you?
Like me when I was a baby. He actually is. He loves watching me pose. My son is almost 2 years. He's turning 2 in August, it's like in like 20 days. He's turning 2. He's just a baby version of me based on what my mom says.
Yeah.
He's very naughty, very active, but at the same time very cute and smart, and he's definitely the best thing that's happened to us. He makes me want to do better and become better. I don't know. Maybe if we do maybe one more, we don't know. It's mostly up to my missus. I'm happy with 2.
Yeah.
But if she wants more, we can produce more. You know, Persian genetic, you can always have one. Favorite thing about being a dad is the ability to, you know, teach someone like new stuff, basically, like how I do with my clients, and just get to spend some time with him, watching him grow up. Watching him grow up is my favorite thing, actually. Like watching him learn new things. Every day there is something new, and that definitely is my favorite thing. Just saying a new word, you know, doing something new. And favorite thing about being a husband is that being able to help my wife to provide, being a provider, and literally just help my wife. I don't know what the favorite thing is, just loving her.
It is amazing.
Just being able to love my wife, that's my favorite thing. Yeah. My children, I would just tell them it's not about being perfect every day, you know. Life is more about becoming better and doing a little bit better each day, and just perfection doesn't exist. Even if you put 90% into something, but you are more consistent with it, no matter what it is, you know, you can be successful. It was Jay Cutler. I think it's because he was at his prime back then when I started like watching bodybuilding videos, and then I started watching him on YouTube, and I literally just copied his training style and everything. And I just liked Jake. I just liked his physique. I think he wasn't genetically gifted, but he was willing to work really hard, and that's what I liked about him the most. It was Jay Cutler, and then it was Phil Heath. And I've never had a bodybuilder who was doing classic. As funny as it sounds, maybe just because to me, having that physique, it's like something I think I can do. I can be on Olympia stage as a classic competitor, or I can be Mr. Olympia. But looking like Jay Cutler or Phil Heath, to me personally, I can never look like those guys. You know.
So it's more.
I don't know if motivation always exists, you know, but what motivates me is basically just my family, you know. I want to make sure my family, they have what they deserve. I want to make sure when my son grows up, I can provide everything he needs, so I can send him to a good school, you know, I can have a good house, you know. That's what motivates me.
Beautiful. Good answer. So it's always been family, even when you started training before you had a family?
No, but it was, I think, since I met my wife and we got married and then we had kids. But I just love training, to be honest. That's the reason I competed. I love training. I never competed to make money. I competed to become better at what I was doing as a personal trainer.
Yeah.
And then I just fell in love with bodybuilding. I always competed because I loved the process. I never competed because I wanted money or for the money. Because there isn't much money in bodybuilding anyway. You spend more money than you make.
Yeah.
I spent money for 10 years until I made some money from competing. I've won some prize money, right? I never won any prize money for 10 years.
Yeah.
Imagine how much money I spent in 10 years to get there. So it was last year, I won 2 pro shows. First Australian to win a classic pro show. I won 2 back-to-back shows. And then I got qualified for Olympia after my wins, to be the first Australian to qualify for Olympia as well. And then I got invited to do Arnold Classic, to be the first Australian to do Arnold Classic. So a lot of firsts last year, 3.
So good.
And
So good. So no, is there any other Australian competing this year for Olympia or anything?
no one has qualified yet. There is a few guys. I think there's 2 guys. They've won a show and they came like second or something. They got some points, but I think they're doing more shows, so they might just get qualified. But I was the first one to qualify, and you know, open the way for all these young fellas.
That's so good, man. That's so awesome.
That's something I would never forget, and my name's always gonna be there. Like
Yeah, correct.
the first one. You know what I
The
mean?
history books.
Yeah. So the feeling, obviously, I had to win 2 shows. I think winning my first show was more special than winning my second one because it was my first one, and I felt like I was really close to Olympia and qualifying for Olympia. And then winning my second show, back-to-back shows, it was literally the best because I worked for it so hard. I got this tattoo. Can you see it? I got this tattoo 7 years ago, and obviously my goal was to qualify for Olympia. I always had in my mind, I turn pro when I'm like 25 or something. I make it to Olympia when I'm 28. I win Olympia when I'm like 30, 31. That was always in my mind. But I got qualified when I was 31. And that's another lesson. Like, if you have a goal and it matters to you, it doesn't really matter how long it takes you to get there. As long as you're putting in the work and you're improving, you're moving in the right direction. I've said this before as well, I could have won a pro show 2 years ago, maybe. But my physique 2 years ago and what is now, it's not even comparable, right? If I wanted to pro show 2 years ago and I got qualified for Olympia, I would have come that dead last, right? But my physique is significantly better now, and I know I can be more competitive when I step on Olympia. So it's not like I've missed 2 years of making progress. No, I didn't. I kept progressing. So it doesn't matter how long it takes you to get there, as long as you stay consistent and you move in the right direction. The primary focus should be the journey, making sure they're enjoying the journey, number one, and then making sure they're ticking off every single box every day and not focus on placing too much, especially for your first show. It's your first show, you don't know what you're gonna look like when you're shredded, don't have too much expectations. You don't, obviously we compete to win, right? Yeah, that's a goal. Like, if I never thought I could win a show, I would never have done that show. But like, just focus more on actually how you get there rather than just that moment, that 10 minutes. Try to enjoy the process and ticking off the boxes. When you tick off your boxes, when you leave nothing in the tank, you've done everything you could possibly do.
Yeah.
So you should be proud and happy with that. Yeah, I want to win Olympia.
You want to win the Olympia?
Of course. I always wanted to win Olympia. I didn't want to just compete at Olympia.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah. I'm just getting started. I have at least another 10 to 15 years in me. It's very important because as you get closer to the show, you're not in the right headspace. I personally never feel like I'm shredded. I'm shredded enough. Can always be a little bit leaner. Sometimes your coach is there, like, you know what, I think you're good now. You need to pull back a little bit, let your body rest. It's really important, especially towards the end. And not just towards the end. You want to be accountable, and you can't just do this on your own. It's too much pressure. It's too much stress. You want to have someone who you can trust and just leave everything to him. I coach a lot of people, but I have a coach myself because I don't want to worry about myself. I don't want to stress about myself. My coach tells me what to do, and I just do it. It depends. When it comes to fat loss, I would say nutrition is more important, right? But when it comes to gaining muscle and just adding muscle, I think they're both just as important because you get to a level when you're just plateauing and you're not really improving, especially after like 10 years of training where you already have a really elite physique, right? Or after you turn pro, everything just gets slower. And I think that's when you really need to level up your training. It's not the gear, it's not the diet, it's more the training when you get there. Obviously, you have to make sure your diet is on point, but I think training becomes more and more and more important as you get deeper in bodybuilding. With the nutrition, a lot of times They just look at the macros. They don't look at the micronutrients. And I believe the quality of the food matters just as much as the macros and just hitting the calories. You can get 1,000 calories in from eating chocolate, or 1,000 calories from eating rice or oats or sweet potato or whatever. Which one is going to make you look and feel better? It's definitely not the chocolate, right? So micronutrients matters, for for your overall health and just how you feel and your gym performance. It's always for me. It's always been, at least for the past 5 6 years. It's always been 5 meals a day, and it's always been two of those meals are always chicken breast. It's it's usually chicken with rice and veggies and some fruits, but sometimes when I'm deep in deficit, it might just be rice. Sorry, it might be just chicken and veggies. I get rid of the rice, and there's always been a meal where I have red meat, which is usually always 99% of the time it's just extra lean beef. And at the moment, it's I get two cream of rice meals, one in the morning, first meal, which is usually my post-workout meal, and one before bed. In the morning, because I train fasted, and I want something which is easily digestible, and rice, cream of rice is just rice, right? And then at night, because when I get home from work, which is around 9:15 every night pretty much, I want to have something that's like it's not heavy and I can go to bed straight away. So I don't want to be sitting eating rice and chicken and wait for it to digest. I want to have something that I can have and literally just go to bed straight away. And that's what I have at night. I never have a meal that's like really heavy before I sleep, because I don't want to get heartburn, or I don't want to feel heavy in the stomach.
You see that cream of rice popping up more and more now. A lot
Yeah,
more
yeah.
companies are making it, and the one that you
It's very popular in US, and they just started doing it a lot more in Australia. I've been having cream of rice for around 10 years.
Yeah.
I used to do the plain one,
yeah.
but now I'm currently using the one. Uh, it's an Australian one. It's called Atlas Nutrition. I've recently started working with them. Initially, they sent me a few packs to just try out their flavors because they were about to launch, and then I literally just gave them my honest feedback. I was actually surprised with the quality of the cream of rice, the consistency, and the and the flavor and everything. So look, this is the best cream of rice I've had, and I've tried the ones from US, from UK. They've done such a good job. So I've been having that twice a day now, and I recommend you to have it. If you don't have something sweet in your diet and you always have cravings, and if you just want to have a meal that you can make it in 5 minutes, cream of rice is a good idea. You can get it from Atlas Nutrition. Don't forget my code, the Persian line, for your discount. You can also get your subs from Paradise Health and Subs. Again, my code for your discount, which is the Persian line. It is important. How important it is. I mean, macros. I literally eat the same food every day, so I'm not someone who's just sitting on the phone. Like, what should I have for my second meal? For me, it's not just about macros. It's also about, like, as I was saying, it's about the food you choose. You want to pick the foods that they like easy on your stomach. You don't want to eat something that makes you feel sick. If you're always feeling bloated after eating, it's not a good thing. You want to make sure you eat something that sits easily on your stomach, at the same time macronutrients, vitamins, all the minerals, you get everything your body needs to. So for me, it's not just about macros. I, I, I see what works the best for me, what I enjoy the most, and what I can stay consistent with the most. And I just stick to that plan. And meal timing for me, it's always the same. I always eat straight after my workout, which is anywhere from 9 to like 9:45, and then it's like every 2 to 3 hours. My second meal is always anywhere from like 12 to 12:45. My third meal is always at 3 p.m. My fourth meal is always just before 6 o'clock, and my final meal is always when I get home from work, which is 9:15. Literally every day. You have to have a routine. You have to do the same shit every day. So when something goes wrong, you know where it's coming from. But if you're eating different types of food every day, you just hitting your macros, your calories. One day your weight might fluctuate, go up, hips. Like, oh, what happened? Sometimes it's not just the macros, it's also how much food you're eating and how much food is sitting on your stomach. So if something feels off, I know it's not my diet because I eat the same food every day. I eat at the same time, so it's not my diet. It's something else. Or if I add something new to my diet, and I feel sick or something, I would know, okay, this is what I've been doing differently recently. I might need to change this. But at the end of the day, I don't think it matters as much as your daily intake. I think your daily intake is more important when it comes to your protein intake, your carbohydrate intake. It's not about one meal post workout. It's more about what you eat. Your body doesn't really utilize, like a lot of people take pre-workout. I mean, so serious. I have to eat before I train. It doesn't matter. Your body doesn't utilize what you had right before a workout, which is still sitting on your stomach. It takes a few hours for it to digest. If anything, that can affect your workout in more of a negative way because you are still digesting your food, right? Yeah. So it doesn't matter what you eat right before or after a workout. It's more about what you have throughout the day. It's more about what you had within that 24-hour window. Yeah, if I'm prepping and I'm in deficit, it's usually just steak, which is eye fillet, which is literally my diet. I can either do eye fillet steak or the mince I was telling you about, and I would go to Meat and Wine Co. in Norwest. So I literally just get that, and if it's funny, if I'm close to the show, like 2-3 weeks out, and we always go out once a week, even if I'm 2 weeks out. Yeah. But then I tell them no salt, no oil, nothing. I take my salt with me. I add my 2 grams of salt or 1 gram or whatever it is to that meal when I'm eating it, and I ask for a salad, which is it's just lettuce, literally lettuce and some tomatoes. I make no dressing. So that's what I eat if I'm prepping on a deficit. But if we go out and I'm not prepping, I'm still eating within my calorie intake. I might just take 1,000 calorie out from a meal, or I might not just have 2 meals if I'm having a bigger day. Yeah. But it's never like I eat so much that next day I feel sick, or I gain like 2 kilos. I might gain like 400, 500 grams, but that's more just from the sodium. And it's not like next day I feel sick. I always look better after the free meal because I never really overdo it.
So you're still mindful of everything you eat when you're doing it?
You always have to be mindful of what you eat. Always. I think the most important ones for me personally, it's gotta be creatine. It's gotta be EAAs, essential amino acids. It's whey protein, 100%. I would say the first one is whey, always. Creatine, amino acids, just to maximize recovery. Glutamine, which is again for recovery, and it might be beneficial for your gut health as well. Yeah. And something else I really like, it's glycerol, or I'm not sure if you've seen it on my Instagram. It's called swole sauce. Yeah. It's a liquid, like I add it to my intra and pre-workout. And that's again help with muscle hydration. So when you're training, you're able to connect your muscles better and you get a better pump. And I know we don't train for a pump, but it's always good to have a nice pump. You look at yourself in the mirror, everything is popping. I take that even before I go on stage. I literally do this exact same supplements on the show day. Before my pre-workout stack stays the same.
So glutamine, you reckon, is one amino acid that you take that's outside the EAAs?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Interesting.
I take about 15 grams of that, 15 grams of creatine, and about 10 to 15 grams of glycerol. And with whey, I do it twice a day. Once it's my post-workout, once it's before bed. Post-workout is 60 grams right now. Pre-bed is 50 grams, but it's more about your daily intake, just making sure you hit your daily intake. And with EAAs, I have 10 grams while training.
And that's mixed in with your cream of rice?
Yeah, I make a drip, so I just put it at the top. It's like this custard drip. So when you have custard every day, twice a day, you don't crave. Yeah, BCAAs. Because it's not all the essential amino acids, it's just some of it. It's a branched amino acid. Yeah. Why not using all the essential amino acids, I think BCA is just waste of money. I think there is a lot of supplements that they say it's for gut health and shit like that, which is waste of money because your gut health, it's more about what you eat rather than the supplementation you take. Yeah, supplements can help for some people, but 99% of it is diet. You can't eat shit and then expect to have the best gut health.
Yeah.
Diet is more important. Take all of them.
Take all of them.
Take test, mass, trend, all of them. Guys. Now, look, if you're not gonna compete, I never recommend you taking any PEDs.
Yeah.
And I only start taking them after 8 years of serious training. So I trained naturally for 8 years, weight training, and I only took it because I really wanted to take my physique to next level and be more competitive and make it to Olympia. I knew it can help me get there, but I never just relied on PEDs and be like, if I take this, I'm going to do this. No, no. For me, it's always going to be training first. If your training performance is improving, you're going to grow. Diet always has to be on point. If you can nail your diet and training first and stay consistent with that for years, and then you want to take it to the next level, that's when you do it. But if your diet is not good, if your training is not there,
Yeah.
there is no reason to do that. Some people are they like, oh, I'm gonna start taking PEDs, so I take my training and diet more seriously. No, that's the wrong way of doing it. You need to be consistent with your diet and training for years, okay? And then once you've done that, you can, if you want, you can start taking PEDs, but always start really slow and then work your way up. Just like weight training, you don't go to the gym and do 6 plates on hack squat. You go to the gym, you start with no weights, so always start with basics, take a little bit of testosterone, see how that goes, get blood works done always get blood work done every 3 to 6 months, see if everything is where it needs to be.
And you have those other supplements that you take as well.
Yeah, metabolic. So it's for your heart, liver, and kidney. And I've been taking them for the past, I think, 6 weeks. And I recently just did my blood test on peak cycle, and it's the best that it's ever looked. So if you're looking to stay healthy, which you should be, make sure you take your health sub seriously. And make sure you check out Metabolic. You can use my code, the Persian line, for your discount. And of course, when you use my code, you're supporting me. Favorite pose? It's either gonna be my back poses because my glutes are shredded to the bone,
Yeah.
or my abs and thighs
Yeah.
because my midsection is super tight. I think the details I have through my midsection and my glutes is something not many people have, which sets me apart from other competitors. Even like at Olympia, people are like, oh, what's your expectation? Obviously, it's my first Olympia, right? I want to be in that top 10 conversation. I want to be in that first collab. I want to be there. There's no question about that. But my goal is just to bring my best at the end of the day. And I think I have a lot of things that a lot of top guys, even top guys, don't have. Like when it comes to conditioning, readiness, when it comes to density and just being dense and round, a lot of people don't have it. And look, all these classic guys, all the people who make it to Olympia, they have the classic shape in their way. They have the structure for sure. But not all of them can get peeled to the bone, and not all of them have that grainy look which I can have on the stage,
Yeah.
which sets me apart. So if I'm bringing that grainy look with a better balance this time around, which I am, I've improved my back and my arms, I can be really competitive.
Before we go, we do have something. Something just came in the mail for you as well.
Oh, that looks
So,
sick.
Little teamgohari.
Wow, this is mad. Look at that. Oh, we got the hoodies.
Check out
Try it.
this. Open this up.
Oh
Take a
my
look.
God, thank you guys. That looks sick. Says the Persian line here. And I'm pretty sure we have Australian flag somewhere.
Yeah, it's on there with Mr Olympia 2020.
Oh yes, baby. So a lot of people ask me, why are you representing Mr. Olympia with Australian flag? Why are you representing Australia, not Iran? First of all, I am representing both, not just one. Just because I was born in Iran, but then my bodybuilding career as a bodybuilder started in Australia. And I think when I came here, I was a nobody. Like I still don't feel like I'm anything special. But I didn't have a proper job. I was only 19 years old. I was just a kid. I came here, and Australia gave me that opportunity to become, someone or get somewhere or have a proper job, have a family. I met my wife through, Australia and bodybuilding.
Yeah.
So I'm always grateful for that. And I don't just see myself as an Iranian, but also as an Australian,
Good man.
because Australia has given me absolutely everything I could ever imagine, and I'm so grateful for that every single day.
Love that. That's awesome.
Even though it's my third language, but still, I feel more Australian than I do feel sometimes Iranian, because I've never really had that support from Iranians, just maybe because I live in Australia.
Yeah.
And I have to be grateful for everything. I appreciate everything Australia has given me, and I will always be representing Australia as well, Iran and Australia.
Good man. Beautiful.
Thank you. Make sure you subscribe, like, and the comment section. Let me know, guys, what you want to see in the future. Thank you.